What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's been a minute here. We've been kind of busy over here at the Auto Swan household. As you can see here, we're in an actual garage, in an actual household, and so my wife and I just bought a house. We moved states, and all kinds of stuff, and so it's been been super busy, but. Got the old Corvette here, and it's summertime up here in Minnesota, and so we got to do some work on her so we can get driving her. So today, what we got going on is we're replacing the transmission filter and then the gasket. Not sure when this was last done or anything like that. But kind of, what's driving me to do this is it just leaks transmission fluid. Pretty confident in most of it's out of the gasket. It's kind of hard to tell. The whole kind of bottom of the car is just kind of covered in oil and or transmission fluid. And so I'm not 100% sure, but pretty confident that's where it's coming from. And, worst case scenario, it probably needs to get done anyways because, I got this car and it has, not seen a lot of maintenance when I got it previously. And so it's not going to hurt nothing to do it. So yeah, we're going to get right in there. Never done one of these before, but we're going to find out. Alright, so we're going to get this party started. Dim the light a little bit. So basically, we just got pretty much a rectangle pan here. We just got a bunch of bolts around it, and so we're just gonna start ripping them off. I'm pretty confident here at some point she's gonna start leaking too, but she's gonna start ripping 13mm bolts off. Not really sure at what point it's gonna leak, but with the feeling I'm working on borrowed time here. Man, tell you what though. House buying process. What a process. It is absolutely ridiculous what that's like nowadays. Granted, we're first time home buyers. We never bought a house before. But still, it just seems like it should not be this hard. Dealing with multiple offers and fast pace and all that stuff. It's just crazy. Can't believe that, that's what it takes to get into a house. If I was smart, I would replace this pan too with one of the pans with a plug in it, so that when I have to do this in the future or whatever, it's not such a pain in the butt. Maybe it's not that bad, but the other thing too with the leaking, it's not like I know it's an old car, and I know, like, hey, it's gonna probably leak a little bit, but my dilemma is, because the way the Corvette's exhaust, they kind of come to the center in the middle here, it's starts to smoke a little bit, and I'm not really trying to burn a bunch of oil underneath the center of my car. It's kind of not on my to-do list, and so kind of doing less of that is gonna be nice. we're starting to get some flow. So I'm gonna wrap around to the other side here and start taking off the other side. So I've got this side pretty much all loosened up, at least a little. Yeah, so we got her draining now. I get the feeling that this has not been done for a little bit because this oil does not look like super amazing. And it smells like kind of junk. Granted, I don't know that it ever smelled good, but it definitely doesn't smell. I mean, it definitely, like, I would think it could smell better. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that drain a little bit. So yeah, I guess I'll kind of give you a little garage tour too. Obviously this is kind of where we're working. Got the Corvette over here. Just a 2-car garage, nothing crazy. The previous owner had some kind of these little wood, cheap little hooks kind of around, so hung some stuff up along the walls. Nothing fancy. It's not, you know, it's just a 2-car garage, but it's decently spacious. Definitely needs some more lighting. Yeah, I kind of got one of those bright LED trifold things up there, and then this light, and it's okay. Not terrible at all. I mean, I'm just so glad to, like, I mean, you saw all of our videos out in the parking lot of the, you know, apartment where we used to live. Like, having a garage at all is amazing. So I'm by no means complaining, but this is a dream, man. Just getting some space. Got my tool bench over there. It's super messy. We've been actually doing a lot of house projects on the inside and kind of around the rest of the house. And so I want to start filming that stuff too and posting it on here just because, you know, I like doing that stuff. It's kind of interesting and fun to do. And I find myself to be decently handy. And so if I can kind of take you guys along that journey and do that stuff, it's kind of fun. As well as, you know, just seeing the transformation is good too. You know, I think I mentioned this earlier, but fortunately the house is in like really good shape. Like, move-in ready and all that stuff when we bought it. You know, definitely dated, but it's, you know, in really good shape. And, you know, we definitely got plenty of room to grow over the next, you know, next several years that we're living here. And it's going to be a great place to make content and have fun with. And so super, super excited about getting the house, and the garage is going to be amazing. We're going to be able to do so much more content and all that stuff. I think getting some lighting in here is definitely going to be a requirement soon here, but you know, it's good for now. Oh, there's that's a mess. I was not anticipating a side dump. That was not what I was going for, but that's what I got, I suppose. Alright guys, so I got the pan out here. Kind of looking at my gasket. My gasket doesn't look terrible. Just it must have been halfway redone. I don't know, I don't think it looks completely junk. It feels thin and it does feel kind of old, but I mean, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't look god awful. So hopefully something new will help with that. Kind of got this junk towards the edge here. I don't know if that's just the way the gasket compressed or something, but and then here's my transmission oil. So kind of dark. Seems like there's a bit of metallics down here. Kind of goofy stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That you know, it's not completely full of metal, so I guess that's helpful. There's definitely, I don't know if you can see in there. Definitely a little shimmer, definitely a little metallic, but transmission feels decent. It doesn't feel terrible. So I'm assuming that it's, maybe just a little bit of wear or whatnot. I mean, I'm gonna throw another gasket and filter on there and move on with life. And so, because like I said, transmission doesn't feel terrible. You can definitely feel like it feels like an old transmission. It's probably gonna rebuild in its next future, but I still got stock horsepower and all that stuff. So definitely won't be needed to do a crazy build at the moment, but maybe this winter or something we'll pull her back out and get her freshened up or something. So yeah, I'm gonna go pull that gasket off. Actually, let me see if I can pull this. Let's see if I can pull this filter off. I don't really know what. You can kind of see the filter just hanging down right there. And so I'm gonna pull that off quick and see how hard that is. Like I said, never done this before, so really curious about how hard that's gonna come out. Ooh. Not hard at all. Alright. Oh, it's full of a little bit of junk in there, and I'm still making a freaking mess. Man, guys. Yeah, a drain plug would be nice. That's a mess. And that's, I caught a bunch of it in the pan too, man. You saw how much that was dripping in there. And I still got probably a quart of oil on the ground, so yeah. So, alright. Well, I'm gonna work on kind of getting this cleaned up a little bit, getting that stuff cleaned up, and we'll be good to go. Alrighty guys, so I got the pan all cleaned up and wiped down, kind of rinsed it off too. Got my new O-ring kind of just sitting on there, just verifying it fits and all that. I just got one little last. I got my mess cleaned up down there a little bit too. If I was, not impatient, I would buy a pan with a plug in it, but that's for, that's a future problem I'll deal with. So, one last thing I gotta do is I gotta go back in the transmission and pull my O-ring out. The old one, when I pulled it out, the O-ring did not come out with it, and so I've got to obviously get that out before I can stick a new one in. So I'm gonna reach in there quick and see if I can pull that out with my finger. I got a pick set I can grab, and so I'm gonna go do that real quick. I've got my filter in there, so you can see that. See it hanging down there. And then got my bolts kind of set in here. I wanted to put the bolts in through the pan first because the gasket kind of holds it. And I want to make sure that I didn't kind of pinch the gasket in the weird way or something. The only two bolts I left out were the part where the parking brake attaches to, or the shifter, one of the two attaches to. There's a little cable bracket underneath the car that kind of uses those bolts, and so I left those down there, but everything else is on here. So I'm going to set this up there and start threading it on. Alrighty, so we got the pan all up and in there and bolted back in. Unfortunately, due to C4 hoods, I actually can't clear the garage door with it open. So I'm going to drop it back down, get up from under jack stands, drop it back down, and then I'll actually be able to open the hood and we'll put some new fluid in. Alrighty, so my camera died on me during the drive here, but long story short, that made a world of a difference. Like, it's dirty, super dirty lens here. It made a world of a difference. That literally, like, I've had the car for basically 2 years now, and for the whole time, it's like, oh, this transmission's probably gonna need to be rebuilt. Like, it's kind of clunky. It feels whatever. It's on my to-do list down the road. I know at some point I'm gonna have to pay some money to get it rebuilt. Holy cow! It literally does not need to be rebuilt. Maybe it does still. However, it's an old transmission, but it's seriously like tightened it up like that. I mean, it literally. Sorry, I know I'm rambling on here, but it absolutely like completely fixed it. It's when I would go from drive to reverse, it would clunk, and back and forth, or park to drive, it would clunk, and stuff like that. And, I would feel it like, I'm trying to think, like I'd pull up to a stop sign and it would, I'd give it gas, then it would clunk. And I've checked it multiple times. It was full on fluid. It was not low on fluid at all. Like legitimately was not, was not low on fluid. Because like I said, it leaked before, and I was always topping it off. And so, but I am just, I am just blown away. Like seriously, it drives 10 times better. And so, if you've got one of these old Corvettes, or probably even old cars in general, like, change your filter and your transmission fluid, because it seriously drives so much better. It's insane. Like, I'm blown away. I know I'm rambling, man, but it is like so much better, and I'm so excited about that. And it looks like it's not leaking either. Time will kind of tell a little bit, because it seemed like it was kind of slow before, and then kind of was expedited when the car heated up and some things like that. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. But it doesn't appear to be seeping or anything at the moment, and so that looks really good. But like I said, I am just blown away at how just how much better the transmission feels. And like I said, or like I showed kind of earlier, had a little bit of metal shavings in there, but nothing crazy. I guess, at least nothing that I thought was crazy. I'm no expert by any means, but I'd imagine a car that's 40 years old probably has a little bit of metal shavings in the transmission, but no, it drives 10 times better. I don't know if it's the new filter, maybe it's got better pressure inside the transmission now because the filter's not full of junk, or just the old, the old transmission fluid just was not getting it done, or whatever have it. But it is 10 times better, and that's super motivating, knowing that I don't have to rebuild the transmission or pull a transmission out in the near future. But yeah, that's all I kind of got for today. Like I said here, we kind of, we've got the garage action going on here. Like I said, I got plans for the garage. We also, like I said earlier, I'm going to be posting house stuff too. So if you guys want to see that or have questions about that, I find myself to be a combination of decently a bit of a handyman, but also just kind of fearless when it comes to trying stuff. And like I said, thank you guys for watching. Hope you find this video helpful or just entertaining or anything like that. But, I'll see y'all next time.